Okay, so we will be discussing stoichiometry this morning. I believe we started this one last time, pero let's just have a review. So at the end of this session, you should be able to first define stoichiometry. Next, identify the numbers involved in a balanced equation and solve stoichiometric problems. Ha? Kani pataas? Palihog ako pataas. Saka na lang namin papilit. Okay. Para makakita daw sila sa mga nasa likod. Naman ko yung bagong abring tindahan din. Ay, nakatek. Okay lang mo, Dira? Bili mo okay. Ano sila? Okay, let's continue. We will end our discussion, syempre, with problem solving. So please be ready with your calculators. Walay dalang uban. And syempre, periodic table, but if you forgot to bring your periodic table, there's a periodic table there. It's so big. Okay? Sige. Madungganin niyo sila, class, nag-istorya. Madunggan saba.
Yes, ma'am, saba. Ay, sila
Saba, dyan kayo, ma'am. Kung si yung nalis number 1.
Teres, ma'am, si Romualdo saba. Ay,
bawi lang mo tomorrow. Kaya ka muna sa lang natin tomorrow.
Minasan magsaba-saba og ma'am.
Okay. Sige, how do you define stoichiometry again? Kani nga face-to-face na sila. Pangutan-on dyan ako na sila dire. Maluwas dyan ang mga nasa online karon. What are the two words na kinunan natin ng stoichiometry? Okay, stoichio and metry. Stoichio is the Greek for element. We will be measuring the amount of element or a compound. And then metry, again, is measurement. Therefore, when you say stoichiometry, this is about measuring the amounts of either elements or compounds that are involved in a chemical reaction. So just like what we did in the experiment a while ago, those na nasa online will be doing the same experiment tomorrow. Nauna lang sila, but stoichiometric problem yung ginawa natin kanina sa laboratory. So there's a chemical reaction there. You have your sodium bicarb and also your hydrochloric acid. Then we will be measuring the amounts of each compounds involved in the reaction. So just like the amount of sodium bicarb, the amount of hydrochloric acid, and the amount of the products in that reaction. But in this example, this one is another chemical reaction. How we have 4 moles of ammonia reacting with 5 moles of oxygen, which is a diatomic molecule. So it cannot exist na isang atom lang. Always yan siya O2, ha? Do not forget that. And then the reaction between these two will yield 6 moles of water and 4 moles of nitrogen monoxide. Let's just call it nitrogen monoxide, since that's the IUPAC name. Are you copying or I'm just gonna move on? Mag-take note lang sila. Ma-delay dyan na karon kayo nag-take note. Dili parehas sa online sa una ba? Wala akong kabalo ko, natulog ba mo? Screenshot lang. Karon magsulat dyan din sila. Hindi nagapila na si 2H6 ha. Dili siya ma-erase. I think may someone na nagsulat using a permanent pen there. Kailangan pa na siya limpyuhan later. Hindi siya ma-erase. Okay, let's move on. Move on na or delete ka? Sige, let's move on. So, in this equation class, we will identify several numbers involved and what do they mean. So the first number that we can see there is yung number of atoms in each formula. The subscript, okay? The subscript, the small letters in each chemical formula, together with the symbol of the element. So you have there first ammonia. When you say ammonia, it's always one nitrogen combining with three hydrogen atoms. Siyempre for oxygen, I have mentioned this a while ago. This one is a diatomic molecule. What was again our mnemonics for the diatomic molecules? Birchnough, very good. It's Birchnough. It's the Birchnough. The O there is oxygen. So all of these elements in the Birchnough are diatomic molecules. They exist in two atoms. Hindi pwede na mag-solo. And then you have there, after the reaction between the products, you will have water. Alam niyo naman yung water, H2O. And for the nitrogen monoxide, you have one nitrogen and also one oxygen atom combining. So do not forget the subscripts there represent the number of atoms. In case you don't see a subscript, it's automatically 1. Okay? Just like for nitrogen. In ammonia, we don't have a subscript there, so it's automatically 1 atom of nitrogen. Okay? Any questions so far? So far, or so far, so good. Anything that you would like to clarify? Okay na? Mga nasa online. Nag-on ba sila cam? Oh? Next. Now, we don't see these numbers in the chemical formula, but we can solve for the molar masses. And I believe you are very much familiar with this. We will just identify the number of atoms and then multiply each of them to their atomic weight. You can see that in the periodic table. And then you add everything. So just like sa ammonia, you have there, let me write sa screen. Yeah, hindi ko siya mawagi. Wait lang. I cannot draw. Why? Oh, can't detect the tablet. Why? You have there. The ammonia, so you have nitrogen and hydrogen. One atom. Oh. Wait lang. Buwang gabi siya. Dili siya makisama karon ng akong pen. Okay. Nitrogen, hydrogen. So 1 atom for nitrogen, 3 for hydrogen, and then multiply each of them to their respective weights. Okay, this is 14. This is 1. This is 3. So that is why you have there 17 grams per mole. Do not forget for the molar masses and even the atomic weights, it's gram per mole. Meaning isang mole class ng substance na yan, ito yung magiging weight niya. So for ammonia, isang mole, that will weigh 17 grams if we measure that in analytical balance. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng molar masses. But that is also true for the other compounds. Di na nato sila isa-isahon ha, kay murag Chem101 pa lang nagsige na mo compute og molar mass. Hangtod karon wala pa gyapon ta na human. Taga na kayo mo na compute na molar mass. Okay? Next, aside from the subscripts, you have there the coefficients. So the coefficients are the numbers right beside the chemical formula, and we use them during balancing. We do trial and error for this. Okay, we don't have a definite formula. Instead, we do trial and error until we can balance the equation. So for the case of this equation, you have there 4 as coefficient for our ammonia. which means we have 4 moles or 4 molecules of ammonia. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. Pero you can total all the number of atoms just by multiplying the coefficient to the subscript. So 4 times 1, you have a total of 4 nitrogen in the reaction. And 4 times 3 for hydrogen, that's 12. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng coefficients. Now, in the reaction, you have 5 moles of oxygen, but since oxygen is a diatomic molecule, so you will have a total of 10 oxygen reacting with this one, with the ammonia. And yielding 6 molecules of water and 4 molecules of the nitrogen monoxide. Okay? Wait lang kayo ng water dito nga nang wala ni sulod. Let me get my other. Para maglibog ka. Muna daghan na kay message. Okay. Okay. Sige. Now, let's talk about the mole ratio. The mole ratio will be using the coefficients class. So you have there 4:5, 6:4. Meaning, if you have 4 moles of ammonia, ang automatic magre-react siya sa 5 moles ng oxygen. And then automatic din yan, mag-yield ng 6 moles of water and 4 moles of nitrogen monoxide. Again, we call this mole ratio. Yung mga coefficients na yan, mole ratio ang tawag natin. Diyan mo connect akong duha ka phone. Ilabay rin. Bili, dude. Nga naman eh. I need to monitor. Sige, okay na. Okay na to? Mole ratio na to. So, ano ibig sabihin ng mole ratio? You can use either molecules or moles. Parehas lang yan sila. So, 4 moles of ammonia plus 5 moles of oxygen. Or pwede din 4 molecules of ammonia and 5 moles of oxygen. Yan ang meaning ng mole ratio natin. Okay? Sige. Questions? Clarifications? Those na nandyan sa online, you can send your questions sa chat box, ha? Okay. So let's have this one. Let's have the problem solving agad-agad. Let's use this formula. 4 ammonia plus 5 oxygen, yielding 6 moles of water and 4 moles of nitrogen monoxide. Now, this is the problem. Ano daw, how many moles daw of water will be produced if you only have 2 moles of oxygen? There are cases na like this class na hindi mo talaga makokompleto yung supposedly correct na coefficient. Kulang ang chemical. Ganun ang ibig sabihin nun. So supposedly, you should have 5 moles of oxygen. But this time, meron lang tayong 2 moles. So ganito yung gamit ni stoichiometry. If for example, there will be deficiency in the amount of the chemical or there will be an excess, we can always identify the amount of products. So again, gamit natin stoichiometry. Yan, nag-Mary had a little lamb na, so 11 o'clock na. Ano siya ang tandaan sa ato ang bell. Okay? So this is how you do it. Ay, nagbigay ako sa inyo last time ng pattern, di ba? Tama? What was our pattern again? Weight of the given times the... Okay. This is actually our... Dili din makisama akong pen karon ba? Ano man siya? Our goal here is to actually convert grams into mole. That is the reason why we multiply it to the mole ratio. Molar mass. Okay, molar mass. And then after that, we will multiply it to the mole ratio. And lastly, since the answer class in multiplying the mole ratio is still in moles, pwede natin siya i-convert back into grams just by multiplying it again to the molar mass. This is the whole pattern, but we can divide this one depende kung ano yung hinahanap natin. So just like this one, how many moles? Ang given class is moles, then ang kukunin lang natin is moles din. Diba? Ang given natin 2 moles of oxygen, and what is asked in the problem? Moles din. If this is the case class na it's moles to moles, you will only need this part here. Okay? This part here lang. I-color coding ko na lang siya ha. Moles to moles, itong naka-black. Okay? So when you solve this, the given is in moles already. You don't need to multiply it sa molar mass. Diretso ka na moles. You have 2 moles of oxygen times the mole ratio. So the mole ratio again is the coefficient. But take note, this is moles of oxygen here. Dapat nasa baba siya dito para ma-cancel. So anong hinahanap natin? Moles of water. So sa taas siya. Now, ano yung lalagay natin dito? Yung coefficient from the balanced equation. So supposedly, ilan dapat ang moles ni oxygen? You have there 5. While for water, it should be 6. So that's it. You cancel this, and you will get moles of water. Okay? So this is 2 times 6 divided by 5 is 2.4. Okay? That's 2.4 moles of water. Okay? Tandaan nyo yung part ng pattern. Depende kasi siya sa given and sa ano ang hinahanap. Can I erase the writings on the screen now? So we have actually here this one. Balikan natin siya, 2 moles of oxygen. And then this is our mole ratio, 5 moles of oxygen, 6 moles. That is coming from ano ha, the balanced equation. So please do not solve stoichiometric problems if hindi pa kayo nakapag-balance ng equation. Okay? Ayan. So this is 2.40 moles. Questions? Wala. Nagkasinabutaan na. Wait lang ha. Nasunod si ma'am. Wait lang. Okay. Saan na naninita na doon? Wala na ko yung mabuhat. Kapo yung mas ibot-ibot. Hindi pa nababalik ron. Okay. Sige. Again, please balance the equation first before proceeding with the computation. So let's try this. How many moles of nitrogen monoxide are produced in the reaction if 15 moles of water are also produced? So pwede din ganito class. We know the amount of one product and we can also predict the amount of another product using the stoichiometric pattern. So ganun pa rin yung pattern natin. Just look at what is given in the problem and what is asked also in the problem. And please use the same pattern. Kayo muna and then let's solve later sa screen. Okay? I'll wait for your answers. Siyempre ang online sa chat. Ang nadire, I'll ask later. I'll ask you one by one later so that I will know your names since Tapos na? What's the answer? 10? How about those na nasa online? Nagsulat. Let's wait for the others. Nagsulat pa sila sa problem. 10? Okay. Let me rewrite the pattern on the screen. 10 moles. Okay, 10 moles. Done? Nag-solve yung iba dyan. Nag-solve, no? What's your answer? 10? Sige. So let's identify what is asked again in the problem. You have there 15 moles of water. And what is asked? What is asked in the problem? Okay. Moles of nitrogen monoxide. So this is still moles to moles. And then what again? Which part in the pattern are we going to use? Sanjay. Okay. This is moles times mole ratio only. So you don't need the other parts there. Automatic class. You have 15 moles of water. Multiply to the mole ratio. What will be our mole ratio here? Yes, I see. Huh? Ano nga? Ulit.
14 moles of H2O times 4 nitrogen oxide over 6 H2O.
Wait lang. Hindi na nakikisama ang aking pen ngayon. Ayan. 4 moles of nitrogen monoxide and then sa baba.
6 moles of water.
Okay, 6 moles of water. So this is the pattern ha. This is the pattern. Always remember to write what is the given in the problem sa baba so that we can cancel the unit like this one. Moles. And then what is left here is moles of nitrogen monoxide. So 15 times 4 is 60 divided by 6. That's 10. Okay, so your answers. Well, let me see those. Wow, I see daw. Good student. Okay. 10 moles. 10 moles. Okay, 10 moles. Pero 4 moles. Okay. Ito yung pattern kanina. Sige, nakuha ko ito. Okay. Any question for this problem or clarifications? So again, meron akong solving here. So this is it again. 10 moles of nitrogen monoxide. So this is a case class wherein there is excess amount of the products and the reactants. So supposedly, you will have 6 moles of water only. But this time, ang na-produce during the reaction is 15 moles. Siyempre, mag-a-adjust din ang kanyang kasama. So instead of 4 moles, you have there 10 moles of nitrogen monoxide. Okay? Now, how about this? I'll give you time to copy the problem. Though, I'll give you a copy of this slide. Pero sige, those who are here sa school, You can copy the problem. And then let's solve it later. We have here how many grams of water are produced if 2.2 moles of ammonia are combined with excess oxygen. This is another one. We are done with moles to moles. This time, the given is in moles, but what is asked here is the amount in grams. So let's identify which part of our pattern are we going to use. Okay na? Let me rewrite the pattern. Ito na lang. Let's list down the given. We have here 2.2 moles of our ammonia. What is asked in the problem? Grams of H2O. So which part kaya of the formula are we going to use? Saan tayo mag-start? We will start here. Okay? Yeah, but you don't need the molar mass actually since this one is already given. So you just start there. Like you write 2.2 moles of ammonia. Automatic ha, automatic. You don't need the molar mass here. So first. Okay. And then, what will be our mole ratio? Sa baba, syempre, this one is mole of ammonia here. Natabunan, sorry. Ayan. 4 moles of ammonia. And then, 6 moles of water. And then, we are not yet done. We're not yet done, right? You have there the molar mass. Please compute for the molar mass of oxygen. Water. 6/4. Tama yung answer ng mga nasa online. 18? Let's just use whole number for the atomic weights, ha? May trust issues. Okay, this is... Ay, sorry. Oh, your internet connection is unstable. Ayan. Tama, 18. You have 2 atoms of hydrogen times 1. That's the atomic weight. That's equal to 2. And then oxygen, you have only 1 atom times 16 for its atomic weight. This is equal to 16. Then let's add this. You have 18 grams per mole. So you will write it here. 18 grams of water is equivalent to 1 mole still of water. Okay? Let's see the chat. 18 dapat yun. Kindly check bakit 17. And then let's cancel the units. You have moles of ammonia, moles of water, and what is left there? Grams of water. So we can compute. Take out your calculators, class. 59.4. 2.2 times 6 times 18. That's 200. That's 237.6 divided by 4. So this is, lagay ko na lang siya doon ha, 59.4 grams of water. So that's class the importance of stoichiometry, wherein if you just know the amount of either one reactant or one product, you can always predict the amount of another substance. So just like in this case, we have here the given 2.2 moles of ammonia. We had predicted that we can produce a total of 59.4 grams of water. Okay, again, that's the use of stoichiometry. Let's check. Sige. Any question? Sure. Dali lang, stoichiometry. Dali. Kaya pa. Okay. Kaya pa. Sige. So again, this is 2.2 and then we have the mole ratio. Kaya lang, I think what I did here is, I did not round off the molar mass. So, but actually you can still get 59 grams of water. Okay, next. Ayun naman. Or baliktad. No, this is not baliktad. This is still the same. Ayun na naman. And then I'll wait for your answers after a few minutes. Wait lang. Ito talaga tingin. Eight grams. 8. I'm looking at their answers. Those who are in the Zoom. Their answer is 8 grams of oxygen. How about you? 8? 4? Ano man talaga? Well, let's see. Can you hear them, class? Those na nasa Zoom, can you hear them? Maingay? Maingay sila? Maingay daw kayo?
Ma'am, sabay sila ma'am. Di may katarong.
Ansa daw?
ma'am.
Ansa daw? Hindi ako puputian. Wait lang.
Ma'am, very noisy sila ma'am. Oh.
Ay, keep quiet daw because they can hear you sa Zoom.
Please, ka sa noisy, ma'am.
Gusto na daw sila mag-quiz. Oh. Most of the people na nasa online answered 8 grams. Merong isa na nag-answer ng 4 grams. Okay. Let's see. Which part of the formula are we going to use? The same, diba? The same. This one. So we will start with the given 0.3 mole of H2O. What is our mole ratio?
5 over 6 of H2O.
Okay, again. Asa na? 5 mole.